Hey, what's up guys? This is going to be another chassis making tutorial that I promised Jeff I would do on his Second Sister by Korbanth. This thing is a monster, right? You could take these fins and pop them out like that. I mean, this thing is just a beast. So it's a double-bladed saber. These fold back only one way. After looking at this a little bit, I think what I'm going to do is going to be two Profi boards and then a 21700 battery. So a big guy right here to go in the middle and light, and so I can power both of these boards. I also want to utilize these windows on both sides here and put a set of strips, BTF strips behind them, so that I can light these up. I can do some scrolling effects or something along these windows. I'll do one window for each board. That's the plan anyway, right? This is a 4-button setup, so you got two right here, and then you flip it over and you've got another two right here. And then there are sound venting holes right here and right here. I got to take that into consideration too. So the only speaker, like the biggest speaker that can fit in here, is a 24 millimeter. I can't put it straight in like that. I got it right here. So this guy, right? I don't want to take this and put it in there like that. I want to put it in there like this, facing down, so that the speaker drum or the speaker diaphragm is actually facing the sound venting. If you can see that sound venting right there, and it's the same on both sides. So and then so I got to make a something for the tactile switches, right? Because there's 2 buttons per side per board. So I'm making this video before I make the chassis. That's my plan right now. My plan is to make a modular chassis, so it's going to be a 3-piece, right? These 2 sides, one here and one here, will be identical. They'll come in here and slide all the way in and lock in place, and they'll hold the speaker and the 2 tactile switches. So one for both sides, and then my 3rd modular piece will come in the middle for my 21700 battery on this side, you know, where you can access this without the blades being in the way. And then on the back side here, that will probably never get opened, this will have the Profi boards over on that side, so behind the battery. That's the plan right now. I'm going to record myself doing the chassis. It's probably going to be a long video, so if I'm not talking, I'll try to fast forward it a little bit. Just basically so you can see how I designed this guy up. Usually on a chassis, I'll take a few measurements and I'll just go to town, but this guy's going to take me a lot of, you know, coming over here with this, figuring out what I need to do and all that. So this is going to be a bit of a lengthy process. I'll print one of these sides first, or I'll model it, print it up, fit it. If it fits right and I like it, I'll print another one right away so that I can have them both sitting in there, and I will not model my middle piece that holds the 2 boards and the battery and the strips, because the strips need to go on the side too. I won't model that until I lock down these 2 sides. So yeah, that's the plan. Thanks for watching. Okay, we're going to start with that one side I was talking about, because both sides will be identical. I just need to figure out the size of my circle. That's going to be 1.1. So we're going to start here. Alright, let me grab a ruler because I can't fit my mic in here. 1.9. Alright. So that's the length of the emitter piece inside right before the battery. Now we got to figure out the speaker. I'll do that from here. We got a 24mm speaker. I'm just drawing out my speaker right now. I'm really not used to talking while I'm doing this, so I will try to narrate, but for right now I'm just drawing out my speaker. So with that drawn out, take this and extrude it into the model. Let's do this. Let's draw the speaker here. I do this the hard way sometimes. It's alright. Changing ideas as I go. All right. That's our speaker cavity that we got to make sure, draw a place for our two prongs on the speaker, right? And the two contacts. There we go. That's our speaker cavity. We need to open this up a little bit for wire path for the speaker and for the main emitter too. And then go right here. So the reason I left this side thicker and this side thicker is because we're going to have switches on the side, so I need a little bit of meat right there to catch my switches. But for now, speaker will fit in there. Everything's looking good there. So now we just need to move on to the switches. Now the emitter wire will come from over here if we drop down in there. Alright, that's the plan anyway. Let's see where the midpoint is here. Probably do a little bit of a circle here. So give the switches somewhere to, the wires somewhere to go. Yeah, we don't have to go that far. Just do it here, it's fine. Now the wires can snake up underneath the speaker. I need to figure out what kind of switches I'm going to use. I have a box of them. I'll use these right here. So come over here. I didn't make that quite wide enough, which is fine. I'll just fix that real quick. There we go. That's where my switches are going to go. Come over here. tells me where I put my switches. Alright, let's put that. And we got wire path for our switches. I'll probably just go ahead and take this piece out too. Maybe all of it. So I've got myself a little bit of room back here to put some wires if I need them. Because wiring the board and the battery, the two boards and the battery in the middle, I'm going to need somewhere for some wire management so it doesn't look ugly over in the middle where you can see it. And that looks okay. Yeah, so it looks simple, right? But this is the first piece, so if this piece works out right, I will print this twice. I'm hoping I have enough room down here for my wires to pass my NeoPixel wires past the speaker down and to the board here. This is good enough to hold the speaker with my two switches here. I think this is exactly exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to stop and print this out. Okay, now we're going to make the main part. I made the side part like we took a video of, but the only thing that I changed up here was I had to come in and put these two little cutouts right here, these circular cutouts right above the switches, because I had not accounted for the actual plunger switches on the Saber last time, and they were bumping up against my chassis. So just made some clearance for the two plungers. Everything worked out good there. 24 millimeter speaker. We got our passageway for our wires. So these I've actually printed out two of these. They're inside the Saber right now. They're looking good. I'm going to leave them in there so that we can model the second piece. So we're going to start the second piece off. So remember, this second piece is going to take a 21700 battery. It's going to take two proppy boards, and then it's going to have some BTF strips, one BTF strip per side to light up those two red those two red windows. All right. So now's the time. I probably won't talk very much because I'm trying to think. So, the width of the middle is 1.17. pretty much got the inside middle shape right here. So now we'll go with the battery. I don't make 21700 chassis very much, so I don't have them memorized, but I have a Graflex chassis I recently did last week for 21700, so I can come over here and just grab some measurements off of it real quick. Looks like we went with a 0.84 diameter right here. Okay. That's our battery. Plenty of room to do what we need to do, so that's good. And then I made, we'll just go ahead and get rid of this middle piece. I need to remember how long I made the battery chamber. 3.16 long. I'm going to take this, we're going to extrude it to 3.16 to hold our battery. Just like that. That holds our battery. We'll come over here. Two proffies. Okay. Give myself about that much room right there. We're going to cut that proffie shelf out of the entire side. So you can go to 3.16 or you can just extrude to an object, this object right here. So that's what we got right there. Now we've got a place for our proffie boards to sit. Each proffie board is 1.5 inches, so the 3.16, that's plenty of room for two to sit side by side. And then we've got plenty of room underneath of the board right here for wire management, so that's good. Now we want to draw our places for our LED strips while we're doing this right here. So we'll come and draw on this guy. We'll get the good center point in. Figure out how long we're going to make this for. So each window is 2.35 inches long. So to make sure that we have plenty of room, let's just do 2.5 wide. So we'll go 1.25. 1.25. Our BTF strips are 0.47 inches wide. We'll just go 0.5 to give ourselves a little bit of breathing room so that we can put these in with no problem. Now we want to take these we need to extrude into our model enough for the BTF strips to sit in nice and comfortably. just like that. What are we going to do here? So one of these is going to go to one board, right? So we'll just go ahead and take this guy. Oops. For the sake of wire management, for the strips, right? Just like that. Let's go 1.9 or 0.19. This is where our wire will come up from our BTF strips into this guy right here and into our board, but you'll never see this part. It will be hidden in the saber, so nobody will see that. Alright, so we're going to do that again, but do it on the other side. I do a lot of talking to myself. We're making these on opposite ends, right? So this one was over here, coming in on this side. This one's going to come in on this side, so these are going to hit opposite boards, because I want one strip wired per board. It's easiest that way, for me, anyway. So, yeah. So, 2.5. I gotta remember what I'm doing. Not one that. Okay. we got a place for our 2 BTF strips and our wire paths to come up to each board. Here and here. Everything's looking good there. Now we need to, I'm going to close these off. And I'm going to close them off like this. I want all this here, like that. We're going to leave this open, and I'll show you why. So we'll just do the same thing over here. And now we've essentially closed off where our profi is going. Battery compartment is separate. We can come over here and draw our tabs real quick so we don't forget about those. That's fine. One thing that we did forget about though, before I close that off, I'm going to draw my this. I'm going to put this here, put this here. It's just my wire paths for my battery wires. So I'm going to bring this all the way to here, but I don't need all of that to be closed off. So what I'll do is come back here. I'm going to offset this. Probably start about oops, 0.15 from this guy, so I have a little bit of a gap there, and then I'll come all the way to here. You know, I've got that little gap there, and that's all I really need for my wire path. And we'll come back and draw this here. We'll do the same. We'll do the same for this. Alright, now we can come close this off. don't know if I want to do it that way. I do a lot of this while I'm working. Just trying to figure out the easiest way for me to go about doing stuff. There we go. I've got my 2 wire paths for my battery wires here coming up into my board, battery cradle. Now we can come back into our battery contact holders. Good there. I may just put some music to this video because it'd be kind of boring to just watch me sit here and draw. I don't know yet. Plus I got a printer going on in the background. So here we go. That's what we've got. 2 Profi boards, our battery, LED strip holders going in opposite ways. Now we need to make this the actual length of the middle of the saber so it slides right in, right? And right now this is 3.36 on the middle of the saber. It's 3.94. So 3.94 divided by 2. Which one of these needs to come out on the dot 29? So we've got that there. Everything's looking good there. I might come over here and just for a little bit more places to put my wires. Same thing here. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's going to be the middle third piece of our chassis. I am going to print that out and see if that holds up like I want it to. Should be fine.